know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by the Ayers Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of Break Phree Podcast. I am your host, Free. I hope you guys had a great day. Today I have someone that's so encouraging. I know you're going to be blessed. Y'all help me say hello to Jamie the Motivator.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Man, give me some of that motivation this morning.
Hey, you got to live by it.
Yeah. So Jamie, what was life like for you growing up? You grew up here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I claim Atlanta, but I'm originally from Alabama.
What part?
Mobile, Alabama.
Okay. You up there by Pensacola up on the
right
coast.
down the street from Pensacola, Gulf Course, all that area. But growing up for me, I grew up in Atlanta. I moved here when I was 9 years old. Mm-hmm. I was an athlete my whole life. I was always that person outside, don't come home till the street lights come on. And that was me. I kind of got my start into being the motivator in fitness. Mm-hmm. I was labeled obese at 11 years old. So a lot of people,
really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. They look at me now and it's, feel like I was born with muscles. Mm-hmm. But I was an athlete, but I was labeled obese at 11. Went in for a physical, talked to the doctor. She said I was physically fit, but she said that I was fat because I was a little chubby at the time. Mm-hmm. And she looked over my mama and was like, overweight kids, fat kids grow up to become fat adults. So I need to lose weight. So she labeled me obese at 11 years old. And it changed my life.
What was that label like for you?
Oh, it changed my life.
Yeah, so you didn't take it as a negative label because, sometimes as a kid, someone could say something to us.
It mess you up your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I thought I was going to die. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what obese was. Called my grandmother. She was the only person I knew that was in the fitness. She said, you're not going to die, baby, just a little fat.
Yeah.
She sent me a workout tape. It was a Julian Michaels workout tape, and I was dedicated to that tape. So I did that tape every day, and that was my first introduction into fitness.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And you was able to be disciplined
every
at
day.
11 years old.
Every day, yeah. So I did the tape every day for like 30 days. I paired it up with push-ups, with sit-ups. And at a young age, you can transform your body like that.
Yeah.
So after about 30 days, I got abs at 11 years old. So now I'm a conscious kid thinking about push-ups, eating healthy, running, doing, everything with fitness. And I told myself at a young age that if I don't make it to the NFL, I want to go into fitness.
So you play football?
I played football, yeah. So my whole life, I did football, I did track, I did swimming. You couldn't keep me out of sports. Mm-hmm. That was my whole MO. So that was my life all the way up until I was 14. Then I had another determining situation. I found myself in juvenile.
That's what I was about 14. To ask you. Being so dedicated, being so disciplined, you didn't find yourself, you was outside, but you was outside busy.
Now that I'm 13, 14, I got muscles now. Mm-hmm. So now I can fight.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the streets fighting every day.
Yeah.
I was short, but, I always fight. So I found myself fighting. Before you know it, I got caught up in the charge, and I found myself in juvenile sitting for a year.
You had to do a year?
Yeah, well, I didn't even get sentenced to a year. I sat in jail for a year. They were trying to process it and take it up to the Superior Court. So I sat in jail for a year. They eventually threw it out, and it was just tossed out, and then they said go home.
What did you go to jail for? It was for fighting?
Yeah, they was trying to do aggravated, for fighting, but they was trying to take it to aggravated assault, try to give me a superior charge. So we tried to keep it at juvenile, but I ended up sitting in there and having to
And
fight
what did that year teach you?
Well, I really saw real criminals, real thugs, real murderers.
Yeah.
15-year-olds that's never getting out. 14-year-olds that committed all types of murder and crime and stuff. So it showed me at a young age that I didn't want this to be my career.
Right.
I didn't want to make this my journey. I didn't want to come here again. I told all the COs, y'all never see me again. I told the director I'll never be here again. They said, oh, no, you'll come back. And I was determined to live my life and find success. Because I looked at it as no matter what goes on the free end, I could never have a bad day more worse than somebody that's in prison. So
you
no
better
matter
say it.
what I go through in life, no matter what my bank account looking at the time, no matter what relationships is going on, it can never be more worse than me sitting in jail counting the tiles on the ceiling.
Are you glad you got that lesson at 14?
Oh yeah, that was my college. That was my college. So at age 14, I told myself I I always tell everybody when I go and speak now, I literally orchestrated my life by sitting in there. You know, life, this wall is a blank canvas, and you can orchestrate and design whatever you want to in life. And I did that in juvenile. I said, okay, cool. When I get out, I'm going to go play football at Tucker High School because my parents are living in Tucker. Cool. I'm going to go from there. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to the NFL. I told myself these things.
Yeah.
And I was on that journey, and, you know, I thought it was going to be a straight line. It had a few zigs, but here I am today still.
Are you happy that you got that lesson at 14?
Looking back at it, I'm grateful for that opportunity. You know, a lot of people, they experience life, and that one thing in life determines their future.
Right.
For me, I didn't let it determine my future. I knew I still had goals and had dreams. And at this point, I wanted to be an athlete. So I told myself, I get a second opportunity to get out. When I was 14, got out when I was 16, I still had a long future ahead of me, and that was my whole mindset going into it.
Yeah. So when you got there, what was it like for you? Was you like, man, where have they put me at?
Yeah. So, you know, first, before I was just thrown back into public school, I had to go to a transition school. So everybody in there criminals, again. So
Yeah.
it's just like juvenile. But it was like one of those things where we had a lot of rules. So it was one of those things where no trouble, can't be late, you know, so much structure. But I appreciate that because that structure is some of the same structure I had today.
Yeah, like you showed up, you wasn't supposed to be here at 12, and you was here at 11:21.
Yeah, I had a coach that always told us that, you know, on time is late, early is on time.
Oh,
So
okay.
they always stuck with me, and just all those life lessons that I learned. And that's been able to allow me to be successful there as an entrepreneur, as a father, as a business owner, whatever it is I decide to do, all came from those moments. So I always tell everybody, those bad situations in life don't have to determine you. It don't have to define you. You can define it.
And that's what you did. You defined that,
course.
that moment. And I like something you said not too long ago. You said that you told yourself, if I don't make it to the NFL, then I'm going to go into.
Yeah. So I had to be realistic. You know, every year there's thousands of basketball players, thousands of football players who chasing this one dream. Everybody wants to go to college and to the NFL. That's great. And, you know, you get to college, you can have an education. But what if you get hurt first game of the season?
Right.
You know, 12th grade year. Now what are you going to do? You know, you're going to be depressed for the rest of your life? You're going to be a has-been? No, you got to have some other realistic goals that you want to chase after. And for me, it was fitness. You know, I tell everybody fitness saved my life.
Right.
You know, to this day, you know, I was able to build a career, build a lifestyle, build a success for myself by living my hobby. You know, so people actually paid me to do my hobby. So I'm already successful.
So it wasn't work to you at all?
It's never worked. I'm already successful. I'm 15 years into my business. My business has been able to gross over $3 million since being in business. I've been able to hire thousands of people who want to come in and just intern. Like I do internships, whether it's online or in person.
Oh,
And
great. We can send some of the kids from the program.
Yeah. Anytime I work with juveniles or churches, any nonprofit organizations, they can come in and do a 1 week, you know, internship. And I do that for hundreds of people throughout every year.
And what made you gravitate? Because I met you 3 years ago through the Project Safe Neighborhood that we do with the children, with the Fulton
Incredible
County DA's
messages.
office.
Yep.
Incredible messages. So what made you, Jamie, have that passion for we don't call them at risk, at promise kids, you know, kids who are already in trouble with the law?
Well, when I look at them, that's me.
Right.
You know, when I was in juvenile, I met one of my first mentors by the name of Ison Loman. Ison Loman, he owns Athlete's Foot. At his highest, he owned like over 40 Athlete's Foots.
Oh, wow.
He's right here in Atlanta as well. So I've been knowing him for the last 18 years. But he met me while speaking at the juvenile right in Pellettsville in Decatur. And I said, well, can I get your number? Can I call you when I get out? I called him, and he hired me right on the spot.
He did?
Hired me right on the spot. I found myself working at Little 5 Points, down to the underground. Well, not Little 5 Points, 5 Points, working in the underground. I'm 14 years old. Well, I'm 16 at the time. I'm working, showing up every day, working at his shoe store. Found myself
And going to school.
And going to school. So I'm catching the bus, catching the train, just go down to the underground. He gave my first job. And I just saw how he, you know, orchestrated, you know, mentoring me. Didn't come in. I came in, didn't know nothing. He met me in juvenile, so I'm labeled as a bad kid. He gave me an opportunity.
Right.
And now, 15, 20 years later, when I look at the 15-year-old that's in and out of trouble, that's me.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why your heart goes out to them. And what did that what does he say? What does your mentor say about you now, about the Jamie today?
Yeah, so he told me a story last year that when he met me in 2004, he met me and another guy. And he said that it was one guy that was in there, and he kept on getting in and out of jail. But he was mentoring him for about 5 years. And he said on the 5th year of mentoring him, the guy, he committed a crime, and it was one of those situations where he said that he wanted to fight it because he was listening to Trick Daddy take that shit to trial. Right?
Yeah.
So he found himself getting locked up and going down to prison. He did about 12 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
he got out in 2022. So when he's telling me this story, I got out in 2005. So me and this guy the same age, was in there at the same time. And he told me that basically I was able to go off and change my life and build the things that I built today, and why the guy that I was in juvenile with had just got out 2022. So it was a full circle moment for me to let me know that, okay, I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I am where I am for all the opportunities that I have, and I can keep being great.
Right. Do you feel like you're walking in your purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Purpose for me is, like I said, it's designing what it is you see in your mind. You know, to wake up and have money or to have anything, but that doesn't give you fulfillment.
Right.
Purpose gives you true fulfillment. So everything I do is for fulfillment. So I don't do anything for money. I don't do anything to
Because the money comes.
Yeah, it comes when you truly in your purpose. You will attract it. You don't have to chase it.
Right. Right. That's true. Tell us about your gym. I want you to tell the story that you told the kids 3 years ago when I met you about the gym.
Yeah, so people, they see my gym now. Like I said, I'm right at like 14, 15 years with my business. But my business started when I was in high school. So 12th grade year, when I got that season in the injury playing football, at that point, I'm trying to figure out life. So once again, I had a mentorship. Mentors has been the pivotal backbone of my life. Like always having somebody bring me in, give me, you know, 10 years of experience in 2 minutes. And I take it and run with it. So I just knew 12th grade year, I'm getting ready to graduate. I go into Bally's Total Fitness and I harass them to hire me.
Yeah.
Over 5 days, I go in and I say, hey, are y'all hiring? They say, yeah, but you're too young. I say, cool, this is on a Wednesday. I go back on Thursday, hey, are y'all hiring? You know, baby, you was here yesterday. I said, okay. I left Thursday, I came back Friday. You know, are y'all hiring? She said, no. I left, came back Monday, got hired on the spot. So here I am, 18 years old now, the youngest ever. They made an exception for me working at Bally's Total Fitness. Persistence and determination.
Right.
True determination. Got hired on the spot, 18 years old. I hadn't graduated high school yet. So I go into Bally's Total Fitness. I'm learning what to do, what not to do. After about 9 months of working in the business, I started making them $10,000, $15,000 a month. And I'm getting 10% of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, $1,500, they getting $15,000. This ain't it. I quit.
Cold turkey.
I quit cold turkey. I found another mentor. I met a lot of people while I was at Bally's. I always tell everybody that was a lot of times I want to jump right into entrepreneurship, but you got to go and put in your sweat equity first.
Right.
You got to earn your stripes. So I worked at this gym for like 9 months, learned what to do, what not to do. That was, once again, more school and there was more education. Met one of the guys that I was there. He became my mentor. And when I left Bally's, I was with him all day, every day. This guy became my brother. He showed me how to open up a business. I was with him the day he started his LLC online, the day we go down to the business license office. I'm with him the day he gets his equipment, to go talk to the leasing agent, talk to the landlord, put the business together. I saw all these different steps.
And you kept it in your
mind.
mind.
And I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes. And I'm 18, 19 years old. And I'm with this guy for like 2 years. 2 years into it, my business literally takes off. I'm 20 years old now. I'm making about $10,000 a month as a 20-year-old. I got like over 50 clients, and my life is just looking real good because I've been putting in this work.
Yeah.
Well, the guy that was like my brother to me got jealous of me.
Oh, wow.
He got jealous of me, and he's like, well, you know, if you want to stay here, you got to pay double what you're paying now. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to do that at his place, I can get my own place.
Right.
And I was super scared up until this point. But I put all my faith in God. All this money I had made, I went right out and got my own gym at 20 years old.
You saved money. You didn't just go blow your money, buy a nice car.
Well, it was quick. Funny you said car. So I had about $25,000 saved up. They just came out with the Challengers. I went to the dealership, true story. I went to the dealership, test drove it. It's a V8. You know, I'm like, okay, I had a red one. I said, I'm about to do this. Right before I was about to go in and sign the paperwork, God was like, don't do it, not yet. And I was like, okay. A week later, this is when everything hit the fan, and my mentor was like, yo, you got to sign this new contract, got to pay double in rent. And I was like, wow, that's why I didn't spend that money.
Are you glad you listened to that voice of God?
I'm so glad I did.
Because, you know, sometimes we can mistake the voice of God for just like a negative thought or just a thought, and
Well, what that showed me is God will always talk to you. So after that moment and me listening, because I probably didn't listen to every moment,
right.
but I listened to that one, which is real important because a week later, I had to use that $25,000 in my business. And it was exactly $25,000 for me to start my business.
Get out of here.
When I tell you I went down and started the LLC, and I did the same process I learned from my mentor 2 years earlier. Found a gym in Decatur for Memorial Drive. By the time I did all that, I did the build out myself. I put in equipment myself, put in the floors myself, did the painting and took care of the tiles. I was tapped right at $25,000. But I had my own gym.
Right, it was yours.
I had my own gym, and
I
I had clients, and people, every time somebody came in, they respected what I had did.
Right.
They was like, yo, this young brother is doing it. Like, and it made them want to work with me even more. And on top of that, I was really good at what I was doing.
Do you and your mentor still have a relationship? Or
So
once he got
with that story, yeah. So we didn't talk for about 5 years. Me and that guy didn't talk for about 5 years.
That's crazy.
And but he saw me on social media blowing up. He saw everything I was doing, and I bumped into him later on, and then we became cool, and now we're good to this day.
Yeah.
Because it's been like, it's over 15 years at this point.
Yeah.
I was 20, now I'm 34. So it's been a good amount of time now.
But I'm glad you didn't hold a grudge because, you know, Jamie, a lot of people don't realize that jealousy is a spirit, you know, and it's a spirit that attaches to so many people. And we be wondering, like, why? Like, basically, I know you was looking at your mentor like, you the one turned me on. You gave me the game. If anything, you should be happy that I'm your protege.
Well, that's why now I'm one of the best mentors. If I have any mentee who's come through my doors, I get on the phone with them, I literally pour the game into them.
Right.
Because it's like at the end of the day, I can't stop their growth. Like what's on their life is what's on their life.
Yeah.
What's on my life is what's on mine. So it's never a reason for me to be jealous of nobody. And that's what happened to me. When I went around looking for mentors, people would give me halfway game. They want to tell me.
Because they seen it in you.
Yeah. They want to tell me 80% of the game, or they want to talk me out of it. They want to hire me. All this kind of, I'm coming in here as a business owner. I'm not trying to work for you.
Right.
Which is fine. If I was looking for a job, I'm humble enough to work for you, but I got my own. So now I'm one of the best mentors, and that's why now I mentor hundreds of people, whether it's even on the phone. Because if I talk to you once a month for a year, I'm your mentor.
Right.
And I just give you the game. Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's why God continues to elevate you.
And that's
why, you know, you continue to be blessed. That's why your business has reached over $3 million and still growing. And then that's why you still knocking down your goals.
And that's why now I literally look at that wall of success, and I just keep orchestrating what I want to, because everything I'm doing now literally started with an idea.
Yeah.
Started from pain, and I turned my pain into profit, and I just continue to live on it.
Yeah, and that wall that you talk about, that's that wall from Juvenile, right?
Oh, that's
You was
it.
in there, and that's that blank wall.
Oh, yeah. Every speech that I go and talk to somebody, I always say, this wall right here is a blank canvas. What do you want to orchestrate? Like, what do you want to create out of your wall?
Yeah.
And it's not about mama. It's not about daddy. It's not about your current circumstances. It's about what you see in your mind. But you got to take it out of your mind, and you got to put it on the wall, and you got to make the very first step.
Yeah, you got to put the work in.
Got to put the work in. And I always say that life is already tough in itself. It's already hard. But I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt by coming 50% halfway. Half of it is showing up, having that work ethic, be willing to put in the work. Don't take no for an answer, and show up every single day. And everything else will figure itself out.
How do you motivate yourself on those days when you just don't feel like going?
At this point, I've had so many mentors who kind of talk to me through that process.
Yeah.
And it's like every day is not going to feel good. But in those moments when it doesn't feel good, there's always something working for you.
Right.
Like, life doesn't happen for you, it happens to you. So it's one of those things where it's like, grasp it, like take it, because it's gonna be a page, it's gonna be something in that lesson that you can use for tomorrow. So it's always working for you. It's always building you. So I just now change my perception. So on the days that it doesn't feel good, it's fine. Trust the process. That's why I live by this. Trust the process. Because what's going on Monday can be super stressed. Then on Friday, I realize why I went through what I went through on Monday.
Yeah, yeah. So your mantra is trust the process.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the process, it's just like having a cake. Like, everybody loves the cake, the final product.
Yeah.
But if I give you the pieces of the cake one by one, you'll get sick if I give you the butter. If I give you some sugar, you'll get sick.
Right.
If I give you just the milk, it ain't nothing good about it. If I give you the powder, you'll choke on it. But when I mix it all together, when I stir it up, when I put it into the oven, and I let it work, and you see that final pound cake product, it melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
So everybody loves the final product, but you got to trust the process.
That's right. And this episode was brought to you by the Ayers Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Join me. I know you have the gym. And what is it called again?
It's called JTM Fitness Gym.
JT, after you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So my whole brand is Jamie the Motivator. So I wanted to build something, an extension of me. So I went to JTM Fitness Gym.
Okay. All right. And then do you plan to pass it down like to the kids or?
Yeah. So right now I'm actually trying to build a full team. I got 3 other trainers that's in there now. So my son, he told me he wanted to be a police officer and a personal trainer now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
depending on how he grows, I may hand it over to him. If not, I'll probably franchise it one day.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Franchising would be good. And speaking of police officer, I saw just maybe, 3 months ago?
Yeah, 3 months.
You graduated from the academy?
Yeah, so I always had this childhood dream. So alongside of me being a personal trainer and a mentor, over the years I always was a bouncer. Every time I would go out, because I'm not a club person, but every time I would go out, people would literally say, "Are you a bouncer?" And I started getting hired for jobs, so I found myself doing bouncer work, executive protection work, armed security. So I always had this ideal of, getting into police. It's one of those jobs where you either hate it or love it. But it's a lot that comes with it. You're able to change the community. You're able to change a part of, a little bit of what's going on where you live at. So this past May, I just, filled out an application and put myself through the police academy.
That's what's up. And so you told me what made you want to be a police officer. Me personally, I feel like from, knowing you these past years, I do feel like you can make a change in the community because we both know the relationship between police officers
it's broken.
and the community is broken.
Yeah.
But you are young. You know little boys that look like you.
Yeah.
And you have the experience of when you was 14, the mindset. You get what I'm saying? I think that you won't be so quick to how somebody always want to shoot somebody or come around. Tell them rather than what you told me earlier about coming in at a police officer at this age versus.
Absolutely. So how I look at it is like, on a daily basis, we all occur, police at traffic stop, wherever you are. But it's one of those things where, we all have a stigma and a stereotype that goes into it. But we don't see people that look like us policing. And policing is really just policing the community or polling people. So it's like, if I can talk to you and if I can talk you out of what you're doing, and it's literally a lot of times a conversation. Yeah. So I feel like, if I can make, law enforcement look more appealing, young black men who look just like me will see, okay, Jamie's able to do X, Y, and Z and still be a police officer. Okay, maybe I'll try it out.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do right there, just change the stigma with it and be able to change. I can't change the whole world.
Exactly.
But I can change and impact people on a daily basis.
Right. You can, and what's in your circumference, your community, and then hopefully it is spread. And not only that, the motivation that you have, hopefully you could bring some of that to your fellow police officers, and it rubs off. Of course, it won't rub off on everybody.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be met with rejection on the force because they're not going to like the new blood that's coming in.
Well, it's like this, you're going to automatically stereotype me to the experience you had in the past. You don't know me.
Right.
So it's not me that you're fighting what I stand for. But if I can show you that this is not everybody, and then I'm just doing a little bit of work one day at a time.
Yeah, yep. I'm happy for you. So also, you don't want to just stop at being a police officer.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you plan to.
Yeah, so for me, I want to, I love life experiences, and I love being able to experience firsthand making change. So ultimately, and I never even said this, ultimately I can see me running for a particular office.
Okay.
So I want to be that guy who has tattoos, who has a neck tat, who's from, the community, and be able to still have so many different, footprints in these different communities. So I ultimately want to be able to have my own private firm, executive protection business, and then run for a political office one day.
You into politics?
I'm into politics, yeah. And it's mostly from the end of changing, because right now, people feel like you have to go in and just adapt to what's going on. I feel like it'll change, but it has to come within.
Yeah, I feel like, though, too, that we are in the age of change.
Yeah.
I feel like now, like with so many things being unveiled about certain people, I feel like it is the time for change, and it's time for a lot of the old grandfather clubs to go away, and it's time for the new blood.
Yeah, and it's
a
new image, because the thing is, people that's in the black communities, they want to have people they could trust and look like them. So I don't have to always talk to you in a suit and tie and walk, over stuck up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to appeal to you. You're not even going to listen to me. But, I can dress normal, and I can look just like you, and I can still impact change.
Right. You definitely can. And, too, you don't have a chip on your shoulder.
Not at all, because I'm not trying to prove anything. You know, I'm not like, hey, I'm gonna go and teach everybody who treated me bad and, you know, they looked at me this way. And no, it's not like I've lived a long life and I've been successful in one space. Now I want to go over and build another success and while I'm still doing everything else. Because I just feel like it's about having legacy. So never put me in a box, but I can do so much. I can create the box.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing.
That's what's up. Tell us about your book.
Absolutely. So with being a gym owner, I did want to give you a book here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
My mentor told me years ago, every gym owner should have his own philosophy. So my philosophy is really helping those individuals who feel like they can't get started in the fitness. Everybody always had these myths with fitness. It'll be people giving you fitness advice who's never worked out before. Oh yeah, you know, you should do this every single day and eat like this and drink like this and work out this amount of time. So we have the blind leading the blind.
Right.
So I created a book called 10 Ways to Avoid the Hype While Living a Healthier Life. And it's just a book for beginners of where to get started with their fitness and how to simplify the process.
Instead of making it like so much, you know, I am guilty. I was so disciplined when I was in prison because, I mean, of course, I didn't have anything else to do. I was in shape. I got up every morning, 6 in the morning, jogged 3 miles, you know, then I do my legs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Jamie, I have came home, and you would think that I never even did a day in prison because I don't get up and I probably can't even jog 1 mile. Let alone a half a mile right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's lifestyle and discipline. So I teach people, you know, how to build that lifestyle up just one day at a time. You know, what you did there, that was your routine at the time. So now you just got to create a new routine along with all this success, along with everything that you're doing now, how to put you back on the forefront. And if that's 15 minutes 3 times a week, start there. Stay consistent with that and build yourself up from there. And that's why I make it digestible. People tell you, you know, a trainer would work you out and have you running 5 miles in one day. And now you detoured and unmotivated from working out again. But if we can do a 5-minute run, 5-minute strength training on legs, 5-minute strength training on upper body, and come back tomorrow and do it again.
So just start small.
Got to start small. You can build a wall brick by brick.
Yeah.
You can eat an elephant one bite at a time. So you just got to start off little by little.
Yeah. So what's next for Jamie?
What's next for me is just, I know I'm always on my wall.
Yeah.
You know, it's, of course, building financial freedom. You know, I always tell everybody, I don't mind working, slaving, put in hours and hours.
Your sweat equity,
Yeah, put my sweat equity as long as at the end of the day I can have that financial freedom, be able to go where I want to go, live how I want to live, do what I want to do. So right now, I have 2 young boys that are my sons right now.
5 and 1.
5 and 1. They're about to be 6 and 2 real soon. So I want to be able to do what I want to do with them whenever I want to.
Right.
I want to be able to give them the opportunities, but also teach them along the process. I want to be able to voluntarily, when I want to give them lessons versus life having such a struggle for me, and then now they have to go through the lessons. So, you know, some people, when they feel like they have a level of success that they can't still teach their kids hard work or discipline, but I feel like even with mountains of success, you can put them through, you know, life lessons without just giving them everything.
Are you married?
I'm not married, no.
No.
I'm divorced, been divorced about 6 years now. So, you know, just doing the dating world right now, in a relationship, but, you know, at the end of the day, you're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so, what could you say? Tell us a lesson that you learned from your marriage.
Yeah, well, in my marriage, it was really a lot of sacrifice. And it's one of those, and I got married at the age of 23.
Okay, that was young.
Yeah, so I got engaged at 22, married at 23. But for me, I realized in the union with marriage comes focus. As a young black man, there's so much distractions out here. You know, if you're successful, good looking, drive a nice car, you're going to have women come at you all day.
And if you live in Atlanta.
And if you live in Atlanta. Yeah, so the odds here is like 30-1.
Yeah.
So for me, everything that I do puts me in a light where women are attracted to. I work out, I'm in fitness, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a mentor, you got mothers.
Clean
cut,
Yeah.
now law enforcement. So everything is a uniform, so everybody likes that, right? So women are so much attracted to it. So if I didn't have focus or discipline, I'd be all over the place.
Right.
So with having that relationship, finding that right person, because if you don't find that right person, they're going to find you, and you're going to just find yourself in the streets.
Right.
Just running, trying to figure it out. And it steals you from your destiny, steals you from your purpose. So when you tap into that right person that can be there, and I'm still figuring out, I'm a testament to it, but I'm not going to give up, because I'm not going to just settle to like, hey, I'm a successful black man. Let me go store my royal oats. Let me go have 10 women, because I'm going to look up and I'm going to stifle my goals and my dreams.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, it's about purpose. So I got 2 kids right now out of wedlock that didn't work out. I don't want them to be 10.
Right.
So I want to get focused and continue finding the right situation.
I commend you for that, Jamie.
And it's a process,
Yeah.
you know. And like I said, nobody's perfect, you know. So at the time of recording right now, you know, I got 2 kids. I'm dating right now. We trying to just keep control over it, because if not, you can look up and have 8 kids still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
before you go, well, I have one question before the last question.
Absolutely.
Tell me the hardest lesson you've had to learn thus far.
The hardest lesson.
Yeah, that you've had to learn thus far.
I wouldn't even say it's the hardest lesson. I would just say the biggest lesson is never give up. You know, life is gonna happen, and you know, and you have your good days, have your bad days. I can sit before you now as the motivator, but I've had moments where I've been faced failure every month. You can face failure like every other day. You can get a bad call. You know, it's something that's gonna go on that's gonna test you, test your faith. But you know, just never give up. You know, so for me, and like I said, you know, hindsight is clear. You know, so you realize, man, okay, what I went through a few months ago, it literally built me from here. It's just like working out.
Yeah.
You know, while working out, you occurring resistance. You lifting, you straining, but you look up, you got muscles tomorrow.
Yeah.
So was that really a struggle, or was that for your benefit?
Yeah.
So it's all about your thought process and your perception of it. So for me, I can't even really say it's anything that's been bad, but it all works for me, works in my favor. And I'm not perfect. I'm still figuring it out. But what I do know is I'm going to show up every day and attack the day. I'm going to attack my dreams and keep, you know, being around successful people so that I can keep being a success myself.
That's what's up. Now, here on Break Free, I never let anyone leave without this question. And you have to tell us something that you feel like you need to break free from.
What I need to break free from. I guess for me, breaking free from just the feeling of that I have to, like for myself, it's a battle for me just to always keep going. I will accomplish one goal and now I'm ready for the next goal. So I need to break free of just always going forward. Sometimes I need to just soak in.
Yeah.
Soak in where I am.
Yeah.
You know, soak in the moment, because you get one accomplishment, you run out the next one, or you've overlooked the accomplishment you just had.
Okay.
So I feel like for myself, for 24, it's about breaking free from just always running forward and just slow down just a little bit, just to soak it up.
Okay. All right. I can take that. I thank you so much for coming today. Make sure y'all go get the book, 10 Ways to Avoid the Hype While Living a Healthier Life, from Mr. Jamie the Motivator. Jamie, tell us where the gym is and tell us your social media.
Absolutely. So if you're here in the Metro Atlanta, all things Jamie the Motivator, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You can also find me online if you want to tap in. You get a book. If you want to, you know, bodyguard, personal trainer, whatever you may need, you can tap in. I'll take care of you.
Thanks so much. I look forward to having you back when you run for office, too.
All right, let's do it.
Right.
I'm with it.
Okay, y'all, this has been another great episode. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I'll see y'all next time. And this episode was brought to you by the Ayers Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.